think the rain was supposed to last to the next morning, and we did end up getting quite a bit of rain last night. I'll go look at the rain gauge. I'll put Morris in here. The dry towel, they just, you know, they don't want any part of it if it gets wet. And Tux and Marty are dry up on the platform. Let me grab this water bowl. That one's fine for today, and that one's okay, but this one's got possum and raccoon leftovers. Well, you were asleep on my bed. Are you ready to come out now? You can come. Come on. You can come. You're not a hostage. It was nowhere near the kitchen when I went outside. Hi, bud. Hi, bud. Come here. Come here. Marty, don't make such a mess. Okay? Here you guys go. Don't make such a mess. Yeah. It's over an inch. How much is that? That is 1 6/10 inches. And it's still coming down. It was raining last evening. Heavy. We could hear it outside. It's December. Hi, bud. Good morning. Yeah, I'm having to come out at like 10 o'clock every night. Panther's hungry. And put down more food. Because, you know, he's sharing with Spot now. And hi. And he gets a little hungry in the evening. He hasn't quite had. He talks to me through the front door and asks for food. Hopefully Spot's under the front porch when he comes, or he's got a, you know, he's found a tree, hollowed out tree stump or something to stay dry. I do think one night he was under the front porch for a while. Can't really quite see through down there, but there are several places that would not be bad for a kitty to hole up for a little while, so there's only so much I can do, and he's just not ready to make better friends yet. If he sees me, he gets really cautious, and I try to walk away so he finishes eating. I saw him, you know, face to face yesterday, but yeah, we'll be waiting a little bit to walk. It's coming down too hard right now to want to deal with it. Hey, Gray. Good morning. Hi, sweet girl. Hi. I don't know if I said, but Johnny did head to his dad's house last night for approximately a week. We take him back on the 9th. So he'll be home probably that weekend before, something like that. He'll let me know. He's trying to split the time between the two households. I get it. My point is poor Grayson, you know, back on waiting for Mom to come sit and edit with her. She was really, really liking her Johnny lap time. And I'll take good care of her. But needless to say, she loves when Johnny's home. Morris is up top. Marty's down below. I don't know where Stripe went. He was in there eating. But yeah, the cats really appreciate the cat hotels on days when it's raining. And of course, Tux is in his spot. A couple of things. I went and Googled for yesterday's video going out today, the Volkswagen settlement location. Right. I found a map.
Found a map, we did.
And
the North Carolina map, not just a map,
right,
the official one.
Right, the one that has Fuquay's on it. And they put the dot on top of the Starbucks building, so we're going to drive back through there, even though Don and I both feel it's highly unlikely that it's in that those coveted parking spaces. And more importantly, if it is, it shouldn't have been put in those coveted parking spaces. We'll drive back through and see.
Well, we won't drive through Starbucks because you can't drive in that parking. It's called a parking lot for a reason. You go there and you park.
Donald drive through. You can get past the car. You can get past the drive. I tried to get him to drive through there yesterday. Now we have to go back.
Well, okay. I said yesterday it could be at Starbucks because when you go to Starbucks and get in the drive-through lane, you park.
You did say that.
I did say that.
We'll drive back through one more time to try to do a thorough thing, but we suspect that hasn't been installed yet.
I agree.
The town of Holly Springs and Apex, they
all have paragraphs.
They have paragraphs about how this great location they chose, like how they sold it or whatever. And I said that, you know, North Carolina has access to the electric vehicle registrations and our address. And they could have asked the people in Fuquay, where's a good place for a charger, instead of people that don't drive EVs and being clueless thinking that somehow the Starbucks was a good spot for this. I mean, Don and I really quick, we came up with like 5 spots around town. The library, at least there's a bathroom and you could read there while you waited for your level 2 charging. There are several public lots in town, actual public free parking lots. There's one in the Verena side, and there were not the new one. But there's one by the brick with like a kiosk, a really fancy high-tech town map kiosk that the town is all proud of. There's one in Verena and there's one on the Fuquay side.
Sure.
The Fuquay side's in the town Christmas tree parking lot, and the Verena side is by the brick. So one of those lots where they installed the high-tech kiosk would have been a great place because it's near restaurants and shopping, and it's free parking. It doesn't belong to a business. It's not, you know, whatever. So, you know, and there's places. It's not Starbucks for level 2. Now, if a DC fast charger, Starbucks, near Starbucks, fine, but not level 2. You're not. I mean, maybe some people want to go in and do their business for 5 hours, but
I guess the thing is, as big as I can see why they said the TSC parking lot, because the parking lot itself is large. The Starbucks nook isn't.
At the front of the parking lot is
terrible.
Right, between Verizon and Starbucks, it's a nightmare.
That's right. And but right there behind, you know, I can see why, but I go back to the point, the DC fast charger, even when you're going to Starbucks or any of those you're going to plug in, it should just be a DC fast charger. There's no value of putting a level 2 charger at Starbucks. Now, I guess in a perfect world, there are people who go to Starbucks, buy a cup of coffee, sit for 4 or 5 hours at Starbucks and use the free Wi-Fi, and, you know, they nurse their coffee cup the whole number of hours, but Starbucks really doesn't want those people. They want the people in there buying the $12 frappe mate, slamming it down and getting another one and another one and another one. That's what they want. And then they don't mind you sitting there at the table using the free Wi-Fi. But if you're only going to buy one drink and sit there for 4 hours, they're really not interested in that business. They'd rather somebody else get that business.
So we're trying something new. The cost of getting the Raleigh News and Observer delivered for an entire year is hovering at around $600 now.
Yeah.
Okay, and you guys have seen the size of Don's paper.
Oh, it's paper thin.
There's almost nothing in the paper. It's often 36 to 48 hour old, only 6 days a week.
Yeah.
It's often old news, and they tell you to go look in the online digital paper for the...
Every time you read the article, it says, go read the online article.
Right. And it's like not even written by a local Raleigh. I don't know why I keep on wanting to say Charlotte. I have Johnny in school and my prior home in Monroe on the brain this morning. But so Don, we changed to digital only.
Yeah.
That cuts it to about $300 a year, but we signed up for a month instead of paying for a year because it's not any cheaper. They weren't offering a discount, and we'll see how Don likes it or doesn't like it, you know, kind of a thing. I feel sorry for Guardian Angel. They need people to donate paper, or they have to go out and like buy paper. I mean, there's things as a society that we do with newspaper. People use it to wrap up crap, and so... But we're trying that. So anyway, I'm looking over Don's shoulder as he's reading on a Wednesday morning the digital paper instead of the big, you know, it's quieter. I make noise with Legos, and Don rattles the newspaper when he reads it. But he's reading an article from Bloomberg. You guys know how I feel about Bloomberg. I'm not going to rant as long today, I promise. But the first time they used the word Tesla in this article, this is an article about affordable cars
that high mileage,
high mileage, and I guess charge fast. That was part of the criteria.
Yeah.
And the first time they used the word Tesla, that the immediate word after Tesla was has a lock, or had a lock. Until recently, Tesla had a lock on high speed charging, and that's accurate. But as a Tesla supporter, let's say supporter versus fangirl, I felt like lock is like a stranglehold. I heard Bloomberg seething at Tesla as I read that because of my perspective, obviously. And the article mentions Tesla, but they've not their pick. They picked the EV6, and they also said the EV9 coming or out is also good. And they didn't include Model X because they don't have charging speed tests for the Model X to prove that it charges fast enough, they said, to include it in their list, which is ridiculous. But at any point, even Ruby charges plenty fast enough to be included. They had some criteria. But anyway, I'm just very sensitive, and they used the word lock. And
yeah, well, to be a little bit more technical, they never mentioned the fact, anything about 350 kilowatt charging versus 250 kilowatt, 800 volt battery versus 400 volt battery. They never talked about any of that. They simply said the EV6, which is an 800 volt battery, charges quick. They didn't say why. They just simply said it was the fastest charger, and it got the highest score on their scorecard. And their scorecard had to do with a combination of battery, car price for the amount of range, and the charging speed once you charge. So there was two inputs. So a inexpensive car that had a lot of range got higher on the list than an expensive car that had a lot of range. So if you had a choice of an expensive car that gets a lot of range or a less expensive car that got a lot of range, the less expensive car moved up on them, irrelevant of how fast they charged.
Right. Yeah.
Because range is king.
Right. Well, the article, it wasn't total not good.
It was good.
It was okay. It was okay. I still think in general discussions about charging speeds and range are somewhat misleading to consumers of EVs, because you could say, oh, well, I hit 250 kilowatts with my Model Y for 1 minute.
Oh, yeah.
And if the battery was really low, the way and it's not just Tesla, but the way they publish that, and I would say that that's not really important anyway. And then also the range thing is sort of like, well, and this did say this was for high mileage cars, but still, Ruby's a high mileage car, and I basically never went out of the state of North Carolina, but it's still, I needed to charge 110, 120 miles a day.
Right.
So, anyway, it was a decent article, but I don't use the word lock the first time you mentioned Tesla as some negative. And I think, and I was just noting that, the News and Observer's digital does include a lot of content that's not local and is from other news outlets.
That was actually in the paper.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it wasn't just a digital only article, which there are a lot of digital only articles.
Right.
They call those extra. Your News and Observer Extra.
Right.
That's the extra section. But this was actually in the printed paper also, because I usually use the printed paper and then I go into the extra.
Sure. Tesla updated the service ticket. They pushed .6 back out to the car and asked us to install it at our earliest convenience. Sure, okay, it's downloading. I'll check back in a little bit and try to tell it to go on. And, someone on Twitter was like, you should really try to install .6 again. And I was like, okay, but the logic behind a reinstall of the software that's installed, it's not working. But hey, it's free and the car does all the work, so I am certainly willing to try it. And fingers crossed that it fixes Ruby right on up.
Right.
That's what I want. I don't care whose fault, when did we do it, could we have done it yesterday? you know, I don't care. Just if she's fixed, that's great. Happy. You know, Don and I burned on some things at IBM, and as soon as we found out what it was, we just really didn't care at that point. We really didn't care whose fault or anything. Just fix. It's something simple. Something simple we missed. Don't care. So Don has his yearly doctor's appointment today.
Yes, and I've gained 10 pounds because of my wife. It's all her fault.
Technically, he's gained about 6 pounds, not 10. And the last 2 years in a row, I said, Don, please don't have this appointment between Christmas and New Year's. That is not the right time to have the appointment.
It was between Thanksgiving and New Year's, so.
Well, let's just say for the 2024, you're not going until 2025 February. Yes.
Yeah, probably.
Because it just works out better that way. Yeah. But we got to walk, and then he's got to get to his appointment.
Yeah, pretty much.
Police officer doing paperwork, protecting the park. And there's a few people up here walking or hanging out at the playground. But not a lot. Town employees, the office worker employees are back to work tomorrow. We're a little damp. It's, you know, spitting. There's a little extra moisture in the air. My shirt's damp, but we've not been rained on. The Cat Cafe was closed yesterday, but they're open today. I think a lot of small businesses were closed the day after because, you know, Christmas Eve was on a Sunday this year. It's not bad out here at all. This is probably our last time around, and we'll have 45 or 50 minutes, and that's, you know, good.
Well, we'll have, it's now 46 minutes, 11 seconds, according to my watch.
Right, well, I like to go a full hour at a minimum, but, you know, some days I'm willing to stop sooner. Days when I've run a half a mile, that's right. I'm not quite as set on the full hour of walking. You know, where Don and I have been doing, I think, a better job of varying our routine. Some days weight vest, some days no weight vest. Some days I run and he walks much faster than his normal walk. Putting in the exercises. I like JB's comment. Don hadn't seen it yet, but he said, he asked his doctor about walking backwards, and his doctor said, I think he was joking, but it could be a true story. You don't believe everything you read on the internet, do you? Well, Don and I have a sample size of 2 that we've seen improvements in adding those exercises to our routine and our pain in certain areas of our body level, and our, for me, and even Don, I think, balance. So I said sample size of 2, you'll have to try, you know, as with all of these things, other than if you don't have a spotter and you fall and break your leg, I don't see how the balance exercises could be a negative. So give them a try. It certainly, it ups the boringness on just walking. Gives us a little something to do, varies our routine. You know, some days we do it with the weight vest, some days without. Don and I are having a few talks about approaches in the new year of things to try. You know, what we've been doing works really great for Don, and it doesn't work as good for me, which Dr. Eric Westman, I'm going to call him the diabetes coach over at Duke, the keto Duke guy, the MD over at Duke that'll put you on a keto-based approach to resolving your diabetes. Really good guy. He's got all these videos on YouTube. And he said today, focus on outcomes, not goals, or something like that. It changes, you know, focus on what you're doing, not on the outcome you're expecting. So, I don't know. Don and I think we agreed we want to try 1 week with beef, salt, and eggs, and water. And probably a little bit of caffeine in the form of a pill, or maybe black coffee. And that's it. But really, you know, getting the coffee out of the equation would probably be a good thing for this trial. We'll do, you know, we think we want to try at least a week. And really, Don tries, it wasn't my idea, it was actually Don's, but Don is really all in on helping me. Whatever approach will work for me, Don flexes. So I'm good with flexing on everything except for I can't seem to get us eating earlier in the day, which we both agree is a good idea, but I just can't seem to make it work. Aren't you cute? She's particularly cute when she's hoping I'll put down some food for her because she doesn't want this food. She wants something better than that food. You're cute. You are. You're cute and spoiled. Well, Don's at his doctor's appointment. He's be leaving in about 30 minutes. I'm going to work on this, and then he's going to come back and get me in probably Harris Teeter and Walmart. Come get me, go back out. Do I need to be jealous?
I don't know. Do you need to be jealous?
Baby's got on slimming black Tesla and these boy toy jeans on. She'll be happy with you anyway.
I hope.
She will. She will. Don seriously doesn't like this. Going in there with the scale not where he wants it to be. Well, what do you expect? What's it, 3 days after Christmas now?
2 days?
Yeah, I mean, come on now. You and everyone else in the country. Yeah. So Don's home and he's grabbed me, and we're not going to mention any names to protect the innocents, but the innocents.
Yeah.
But Don's doctor, who's a PA, she's a PA. She's ketovore.
That's right. Her and her son.
Yeah, she said she had to tell Don to eat his fruits and vegetables, but she doesn't really eat anything except for avocados.
Yeah.
And really the number one thing we eat is avocados.
I told her, I said, I tell my wife, I said, if you really want to cook vegetables, you know, that's fine, but you don't have to cook them for me. I don't need to ever eat another vegetable.
Yeah, I make broccoli and Brussels sprouts and asparagus every once in a while, but we don't do a lot of lettuce at our house except for the occasional taco, and that's just for the crunch, not because Don wants the lettuce in particular. But anyway, it was good to hear that his preferred new doctor is ketovore. Yeah, she gets it. And all keto means not a lot of carbs, probably under 50, maybe under 20. And ketovore means you pretty much eat meat and eggs. Yeah. And maybe butter, but you might add in a green thing every now and then. But you're not like like you wouldn't spit out a vegetable, but you probably aren't. You know, you're not interested in having a vegetable every day, but if somebody served you broccoli, you'd eat it. So exactly. We'll always be ketovore because I'm not giving up onions and garlic. Onions and garlic are, you know, important at our house, and I'm not giving them up. So I will never say that we're 100% carnivore because it's although I don't eat anywhere near the onions that I used to eat. I put them in casseroles and stuff, and if we have fajitas, I make them, but I'm not serving onions every time we have steak anymore, which I used to do. So there's less onions now. Mission at Harris Teeter done. Now it's mission Walmart. Christmas is really super picked over, and Valentine's is on the way, baby. It's just white, and more white in Fuquay. I feel, oh, it's got Nicola on the front. I was gonna say I feel for him having to come with the front license plate still, but I like the plate they chose. So the speed bumps they've added up here are so obnoxiously tall that, yeah, I don't know about coming to Home Depot anymore. I mean, Don took me over one of them, and I'm like, turn and go around the back because it may be fine for SUVs, but wow. It's 25% off select holiday, but I actually don't think the stock looks very good. That's actually not bad. This one has Helleborus, the winterberry, and some sort of an evergreen tree in it. So there's 3 plants. That's really not bad. $15. I would have never paid $30 for it, but half price Yoda. He moves. He's animated. Is he really gonna go? No. So we came here to get a lock done, and the guy went home 5 minutes before we got here. But I got a plant, and Don's carrying it. Wow. Yeah. JB, is your tractor this cool? JB's got a tractor. His is pretty. He's got a parts tractor now too.
Yeah, parts tractor.
I saw the S leave. But I mean, serious, look at this bump. I mean, really, look at this bump. Who wants to go over this? I don't. I mean, I get it. People are not good and they go too fast through here, but that's a bit much.
I'll need to bring the Cybertruck to Home Depot.
God, serious, right?
Like going off-road now.
It's always a good day when you see another X in town.
Yep.
And by the way, Ruby's download is still downloading at 100% for a couple hours now. I figure around midnight it'll notify me that it's downloaded and I can install it. I don't know, maybe there's a buffer that's full and that's why it's not reinstalling some problem image or whatever, I don't know. But there's a guy was looking at diagnostics for the car that pushed the upload to the car again, the software, the .6 upload download, you know, he pushed it to the car, the update is what I really meant. And so I'm sure he's probably working tomorrow, and you know, hopefully he'll have another idea of what to do. But I suspect if they think they've got to like relay something down, they're going to want the car at Tesla instead of at our house, because they don't like to download. It takes too long for the mobile guy to do downloads at people's houses, and I don't know if they could do it any better at Tesla or not. I do know that Ruby's not the only car in the fleet with this exact bug. This is where I left off before Home Depot. Dinner's not going to be done for about an hour. It's 5 o'clock, 5:15. I'm going to work on it at least until dinner. And the only thing that substitution I made is there was supposed to be a couple of green stripes up here, and I don't have green. So we didn't get a green stripe, but that's okay. So we had dinner, and I'm back to work on this a bit more. I have run out of these panels, and this one is from something that had these stickers on it. I probably could remove the stickers. There's going to be Christmas tree green stuff out here. So it's going to go up, the ball's going to go up on the inside and then drop out and come down into the, and then, you know, with the motor keep on going. That's the plan anyway. Hopefully I can get it to work. I've built a few great ball contraptions before, but never one with this tubing kind of thing working. And it's not quite wanting to spin, so I'm a little worried, but we'll see. Hopefully I won't have to take it apart and work on the gears. If I do, it won't be tonight. I'm just going to futz with it I'd like to finish building the skeleton and see how the tree's going to start, because it's 8:15. I'm not going to work too much longer though. The ribs, the St. Louis pork ribs, they were yummy. Donnie, it's working pretty good. I can test it.
Oh, wow, look at that baby go. Oh.
Okay, well, I'm not done with it. The ball's not going up, but the ball's supposed to go up, so.
It's just moving it out of the way.
Yeah. But I'll figure it out. I don't know if there's something else that goes over here or what.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the tree thing's got to go in there. But you can see that it's going to carry it up to the top, and then it's going to come out here, and it's going to go like around the tree. There's a, I don't know, like a sled chute, I guess.
Yeah, way cool.
So I'll sort it. That ball also could be not the right ball.
Yeah, I think that ball's too big.
Right. There are some other size balls, so
yeah,
I need
it
to
needs to be a smaller ball.
Yeah, I used the Lego balls that I had close by, the green ones, but these are official Lego balls too, and they're the right ones for this great ball contraption. All right, I got the right balls now, so let's see what happens.
Ooh, look at that baby go. Ooh. Where's it gonna go? Oh.
Right, well, it comes out the chute.
Yeah, I got it.
There's 3 of them. You find them now. It comes out here, and it's going to spin around like a Christmas tree, down back in over here, and then get picked up again, and it'll be a continuous motion thing. So, way cool. It's working. The gears are working, and no adjustments needed. Yes, yes, yes. And it's a 32 long axle, and those are hard to deal with because they tend to bend. So, woo!